Now, if you are a MRA and you commit one of these sins, I'm worried about you. I don't think you should lead the MRA movement. Now, Karen Straughan has committed these 16 sins. Believe it or not, the 16 sins that I listed here is not a list of what's bad to do as a MRA. It's a list of what Karen Straughan did against me. And I'm just stunned that for many years, this woman has went uncalled. If she can stand today behind the 16 sins, and I've given her an offer to apologize or to come on Warski Live or even to come on this channel, she maintains that she hasn't done anything wrong and that there's nothing wrong with her. So we'll go through everything that she's done in the past month, and I'll show you how she has committed these 16 sins. So let's start with her appearance on the V stream. This is where it all originates. So for those who watched the Warski Live at that time, I was on Warski Live, and some people start attacking Karen Straughan. And I say, well, Karen Straughan is one of the greatest MRA defender that I've ever known. She is one of the greatest of human civilization. And I cannot believe that you guys are telling me that she's doing wrong stuff or that she's insulting me. And Mr. Mitaker sent me a clip where she stated a few things about me. So let's see where that clip was coming from. Let me just adjust the audio here. Sorry about that.
Pause the video, and then when I had it paused, I read your disclaimer that anybody.
Okay, so let's rewind it.
Well, he blocked. Your 50 Shades of Autism made me laugh so fucking hard I had to pause the video, and then when I had it paused, I read your disclaimer that anybody who would point out that Down syndrome is not the same as autism is in danger of being raped or being impregnated by JF.
So again, this is textbook leftism. First, she mocks my sexual choice. So apparently, because I went out with a girl who was diagnosed with autism, I'm to be laughed at, and she laughs at the video of V about that. And she also perpetrates the myth of men as systematic rapists. See how she made an error? She said that JF will rape, impregnant. How does your brain work for you to be confused between impregnated and raped? How is that going on inside of the ear? For you to mix the two. You're confused, Karen. So two of the first great sins that you shouldn't commit as a MRA: mock the sexual choices of men or perpetrate the myth of men as systematic rapists. Now, Karen, after this interaction, and we'll look more of this interaction. For example, here, see, she makes a false claim about court findings.
Also, the court documents revealing that her parents did manage to get custody, get guardianship over her because she has the mental capacity of a 10-year-old.
So she claims that my ex-fiancé has the mental capacity of a 10-year-old. Completely false. This was a claim by a lawyer. It was rejected by the court. And she perpetrates this as truth. Like the documents claiming that finding that his ex-fiancée was 10 years old of mental age, we have a misrepresentation of court findings. Now, what's Karen's defense to that? She wrote an email to me. She says, "Oh, I was not really talking about the truth. I was simply talking about public perception." Well, again, if you listen to what she says, she's gonna claim that there's a court document about me claiming that I'm criminal. And this does not fall under her defense. She was not talking about the public perception. She was talking about facts, and she said, there is an affidavit of the court claiming that JF has committed a crime. Let's listen to it.
Well, I mean, and it's certainly not like, okay, and you can say, okay, well, in the court document, it said that the judge said that the action of having sex with this woman was potentially criminal, right? So, but it was an affidavit, wasn't it?
So it was an affidavit, wasn't it? Well, if you don't know about it, why are you talking about it on the public space? So here we have Karen Straughan claiming that there's an affidavit that finds me criminally guilty of some sort of, it's not even clear, some sort of rape. And again, she has invented a false court document about a man. There is no such affidavit, not even a claim. This paper does not exist. If you don't know that such a paper exists, don't attribute it to a man, don't claim its existence on the public space. Now, Karen goes on and she starts speculating about a woman who is my ex-fiancée, who was a very intelligent woman who decided to become my fiancée legitimately. And Karen starts thinking that Karen's view from Canada, from northern Canada, wherever she lives, Karen is more able to tell whether this girl can consent or not. And she's gonna make a comparison with her daughter.
Yeah, no, and it's as well. It's she had the social abilities of apparently a 10 or 11-year-old.
Wrong.
Right? So she just this is actually autism that we're talking about. So I mean, like my daughter when she was in grade 1.
See, again, this does not fall under a defense. She's now claiming, oh, I was not talking about the reality. I was talking about the perception that people may have. Well, if you're talking about perception, you don't use words like actually. She says it's actually autism we're talking about. What do you know about it, Karen? What the fuck do you know about it? Now she goes on, and what she's about to do, she's about to disempower Chad males and young females from their ability to make choices. Look at what she says about what she thinks was the state of consent.
She's not actually autistic. She's something a little bit different, but looks almost identical. When she was in grade 1, her verbal skills, she'd only been talking in sentences and understanding sentences for like a year. And she was already doing math at some kind of freaking grade 6 level. And they gave her a bunch of puzzles to do. And she did all of the kids' puzzles for
So now she's talking about her own daughter.
All the grades in elementary school so fast that they finally started giving her adult ones. And she just put them together, like the hardest ones that give adults to test their cognitive abilities, right? And she was completely socially retarded. She was completely like, she's caught up, but
still talking about her own daughter. Look at how she's gonna extrapolate this to my case.
Mostly from working the courtesy desk at Walmart, but if she had, like, if you had asked me realistically, that when she was like, because I lost my virginity when I was 15, right? If you had asked me when she's 15, is she capable of making that kind of decision, right? Mentally, cognitively, socially, all of that, right? I would have said absolutely fucking not.
So absolutely fucking not. Of course, it's not. It's not even a surprise that a mother has a higher threshold for her own daughter than for herself. That doesn't mean that her view about her daughter applies to me and that this gives her any sort of fucking insight into my ex-fiancé. I'm just gonna read a super chat, then I'm gonna explain why this is wrong. Down Forward Punch, $10 US says, I love that JF is dismantling Karen's ridiculous arguments and statements in the public space. Keep it up, JF. Alright, so why is it wrong to make decisions or to claim that one has insight about a young couple being together legitimately? It's because old females in the homonormative matriarchy, that's their only access to the reproductive line. That's the only way in which they can control the Chad male and his young females. And so by giving her opinion on the state of consent and not knowing anything about my ex-fiancé, Karen is, because she has dry ovaries, that's what you need to understand. Karen, at her age, she's not in the reproductive line anymore. Her only way to intervene in the reproductive line is to stop Chad males like me to fuck younger women than her. That's what's happening here. And it's bad because it disempowers males and young females. Now, another thing that Karen commits in this discussion is she kind of assumes that attacking the Chad male, attacking the guy who's higher status is fair. Even if you use defamation, even if you use dirty tactics, somehow the fact that I'm a Chad justifies the attack. And that's a feature of leftist and socialist thinking.
Well, and also, just please let me express that it depends on the target you pick. JF is not low-hanging fruit. He's not some, completely retarded person who would stick a coat hanger up his ass and give everybody his passwords, right? Because, oh yeah, give me your passwords and I'll put an algorithm to.
So she's implying, okay, everything we've said about JF, it's fair because he's a Chad. It's fair because he's co-host of Warski Live. It's fair because he's intelligent. A true MRA should be respecting the sexual freedom of all men equally, Chad included. Your father sends $10 US says, I may have given you bans, JF, but this lady is a vindictive cunt. Viva la JF. I cry, I fuck Reese, I'm cringe. Just jokes. Here's a dime for you to put the sense of humor on lay away. Alright, and so finally, in the video part, Karen implies again, she does it again. This is a sin that I've listed above. Speculating on public perception of free male choosing sex, mocking the sexual choice of men. Look at what she says.
I don't care about
V. You're not getting what I'm.
Relationship.
You're not getting what I'm getting at. Okay. What I'm getting at is what you got at, which is. It's not about fucking children, it's about fucking retards, right?
So again, first she assumes that the allegations are true for this. So somehow my ex is a retard. And then she mocks the legitimate choice of men. Yeah, so what? I fucked a beautiful woman. She was extremely noble, extremely intelligent. Among the about 1,000 women I fucked, this girl was in the top 1%. She was a great lady. And she shames me for it, mocks me for it. Alright, now Karen you know, she could have solved all of this easily. Honestly, if Karen would have gotten to me and said, Jeff, I'm sorry, I fucked up. Sorry for everything I said about you. Sorry for the false claims about the court documents about you. Sorry for misrepresenting the court findings. I'm not a hateful guy. When someone apologizes, I always leave one out. But she comes to me with this email 3 days ago. And the email doesn't even explain what she wants. The subject line is something like, please hear me out. And she starts listing claims that other people have been doing. She starts listing claims of a guy named Selenium on YouTube, who's an anonymous guy who somehow commented on a YouTube video, and she says Selenium was wrong, and I proved him wrong, and I'd like you to look at my response to him. Now, I interpreted this email as her asking me for some help. Now, today she denies that it was an email asking for help. I admit that there's not the word help in there. I assume, well, this girl is coming to me with a problem. Someone else misrepresenting her statements. But I'm not involved with Selenium. I don't know who that is. And first and foremost, you defamed me on the public space. You disrespected my male safe space. You've perpetrated the myth of men as systematic rapists. You've disempowered my choice as a Chad male. And after doing all of these acts of aggression, you're writing to me about some other dude misrepresenting your statements. I was kind of I was confused. And so I answered to her, I'm not interested in helping you with this situation. I don't care who Selenium is. He does not represent me. And she went on a series of explanations and trying to justify her behavior, which made me realize how deeply inadequate she is as an MRA. So on the comment that she provided elsewhere in response to another guy, I catch this. She says, here's what I was trying to say and how I would have put it if not for the constant interruptions, because she claims that while defaming me and while lying about my court case, she was being cut by V and Ralph Retort. Oh, sorry, lady. Sorry that someone tried to stop you on your path. She says the allegations, if true or believed, are embarrassing. They are probably not illegal, even if they're true. I'm not making a moral judgment or weighing in on whether the allegations are true or not, but the optics are bad in the sense of the overall context. The overall context is the guy is desperate to have a family, which means babies. Yeah, you got that right. And after however many women couldn't stand to be in a relationship with him for any length of time, he allegedly had to resort to luring a vulnerable woman away from her parents and across state lines, then try to impregnate her and trap her into a relationship. That's the least worst thing that people are going to see if they take the allegations at face value. So many sins in there. First, shaming men for their legitimate sexual choices by assuming their embarrassment. I've already tweeted about the Daily Beast article. I doubled down on all of my behaviors. I fuck women. This is what I do. I'm a guy. Deal with it. Hate me. I don't care. This is what I do. I'm not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed. I'm actually pretty amused that the fact that I fuck women is a matter of public opinion for millions of people. What the fuck is happening? She also denies the subjective experience of Chad males, because in this she's claiming that I will be embarrassed. But I've already expressed my opinion on my past relationship with this girl. I'm not embarrassed at all. I enjoyed every moment of my life with her. And she makes the worst interpretation by saying that's the least worst thing people are going to see if they take the allegations at face value. No, it's not the least worst thing. The least worst thing is to state JF had a girlfriend. That's the least worst conclusion you can have when looking at the Daily Beast article. JF had a girlfriend. JF had girlfriends. JF fucks females. That's all that happened. And in the previous sentence, you can see her committing sin number 11. So she says that wasn't that one. It was this one. Sorry. Let me move to it. She assumes that women leaving males is due to males. She says, and after however many women couldn't stand to be in a relationship with him for any length of time. So that's assuming that I'm in a desperate situation. No, we just live in a society where women are defective. They have defective brains and they just disappear from relationships, whether they have babies or not. That's a truth. That's what I've been facing. So what? I fuck the next woman, the next woman, the next woman, until one stays. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, and it's not necessarily because of the male. But in that paragraph, there is the hidden assumption that it is. So sin 11, assuming that women leaving males is due to males. A little more statements here. So again, that's another place, and just to show that her defense, that she was just talking about optics. She was just talking about what people would interpret from the Daily Beast article. What does she do? She considers as fact an allegation which was already rejected in court. So she says, but that maturity of a 10 to 12-year-old thing is going to lead other people to make assumptions. No. Well, again, as speculating against males using optics rather than facts. Why shouldn't you be first interested in determining if it's true? Why wouldn't you go and make the research and determine that no, the court did not conclude what you're stating there? But no, she doesn't do the research. She believes the article and she speculates on the optics. And by doing so, she relays what the homonormative matriarchy wants her to relays. This whole view of the worst case scenario of, oh, whatever a lawyer said must have been true in some way. And by doing so, she violates the presumption of innocence. She violates due process. She violates the fucking court's finding. And the court was terrible. But even that terrible court did not make the findings that she claims in there. French Honey Badger, $2 US. She does not take the article as fact. It doesn't matter. If you make yourself a relay of fake information that was already taken by the court and judged to be false, you are violating the rights of men. You are violating the rights of your audience to be properly informed. You're talking about something you don't understand at all. Your father, $5 US, says, I fuck woman is now how I will tell someone my sexual preference. From now on, unrelated, why does Super Chat block all profanity, offensive words? I think that's a new rule on YouTube. I'm sorry about this. So, another way of dehumanizing Chad males is to assume that because they disagree with you, they must have been misled. Somehow, my disagreement with Karen Straughan and her behavior in these videos must have been due to me being misinformed. She says, that 30-second clip was strategically snipped to make it seem like I was talking about what I think about your situations rather than what I believe people are going to talk about it. The entire context of the discussion was about optics, JF, not about what I believe or don't believe about your personal situation. Jim took that clip, isolated from its context, and had Andy play it for you on the air because he was pissed at me for soccer momming all over his phone. So again, she assumes that I haven't watched the full context. I watched the full context as soon as the Warski Live episode was done. I think it was about a month ago. As soon as it was done, I went out and looked at the full context. I still had disagreement with how Karen treats the affair with full context. But what does she do? She assumes that Chad males who disagree with someone must be uninformed. I watched the full context. I'm Papa JF. I'm a professional YouTuber. You think that if I was trusting small clips and cuts, I would have made it up to now? There are 6 dead YouTubers. Their skeleton laying in my back. I hang YouTubers on my wall. You think I'm gonna believe Jim on a 34 seconds clip without looking at the context? And now goes the moment where I'm trying to explain to her. I'm trying to extend an olive branch, and I'm trying to invite her on Warski Live to explain to her exactly what I explained to you within the last 30 minutes. Which is, hey, I think you defamed me. I think you misrepresent court findings. I think that your behavior is not in line with your MRA position. And I send her the link to join. I say, if you want to come on Warski Live, come. Personally, I think you should apologize. It would be good for your image as a MRA. And she says, you're kidding, right? Why would I line your pockets with drama super chats? If you want, I'll go on stream with you at V's. Oh my god. Believe it or not, Karen Straughan wants me to go on V's stream. And she knows, based on the conversation, which I've listened in full, she knows that I blocked V. She knows that I've blocked my abuser, my Romanian abuser, who was making videos obsessing about my sex life. I don't want to hear anything from V, and she knows it. She stated, in the original video, she even stated, oh, he must have blocked you because he's embarrassed. No, I'm not embarrassed. I blocked V because I don't want to hear anything from this defective brain anymore for the rest of my life. And so yeah, and even in a tweet she explains, JF is making enough money there. Why not go on V so he can buy himself a hair comb? So, believe it or not, Karen Straughan wants me to pay child support to our Down syndrome Romanian child, V. And she justifies it by his hair needing to be combed. That's a typical strategy of the homonormative matriarchy, which is to argue, instead of argue legitimately, like I deserve this money, they argue based on needs. Oh, the child needs this, the child needs that, V needs hair combs. But I don't owe anything to V nor to you. You too have been defaming me. I've been claiming the existence of false court documents. I've been misrepresenting court proceedings. And I should be the one going on V's stream so he gets super chat and he gets a hair comb? And you're a fucking MRA? I don't know. And in that thing, she criticized the fact that I make money with super chat. I make money on Warski Live. Now the problem is, this is a lifestyle that I chose as a Chad male. I'm the Chad co-host of Warski Live. The way I do it, people send me money. I entertain them. This money allows me to pay for the well-being and for the life of my pregnant girlfriend. And so she shames me for this. Somehow it's drama super chat. Somehow she cannot participate to this dirty operation by which I fund my family. And so she commits the sin number 14, shaming the alpha Chad male for his work and family structure. You need to respect successful males who have found a way to survive in the economic space if you're going to claim that you're an MRA. And probably the one that hurts most is Karen Straughan's reversion of the presumption of innocence. So in a later email, because this was a whole meltdown series of emails, I'm sparing you the details. Too Quick sends $100 US. That is some Chad super chat. He says, Karen's position is definitely not in line with her MRA standards. By the way, he's making money. JF is a hero. I'd like to say like, thank you, but I'll say, roar. That's the new call of the third wave MRAs. Roar. Thank you for this $100. I'm gonna use it to fund the well-being of my current girlfriend who's pregnant, who's soon gonna have a baby from me. Made by Milk, $20 US. I'm supporting you because you and the knife are the few who can actually covertly ask questions we want considered by the public and then evaluate the questions for the public to see. Love it. I hope we make it worth it via cash. You are making worth it. I'm making amazing money on YouTube. I'm here to stay. Adolf Unkler, $14.88. JF is the only explicitly pro-white host in blood sports and the only one I will support monetarily here and at Warski. Hail JF, fuck Karen and her 10-year-old boy aesthetics. I will not read the rest, but it is a nice message. Leecher, 14 euros 88. Wow, and she has 200,000 subscribers. How does someone this low IQ get to have their own successful show? Seriously, Andy, how does that happen? Nice joke on Andy here. We are in a safe space today. We can bash Andy without fearing an emotional outburst. So this one is the most worrying. I'll tell you what. This is the problem that males are facing right now. The systemic problem is the attitude of Karen. The reversal of the burden of proof. Just listen to this poetry, this leftist woman fucking poetry. You don't have to explain yourself to me. I literally said in the conversation, you're pissed about that. I was making no moral judgment about you, and I have no position as to whether I either believe or disbelieve any of the allegations against you. That might not satisfy you, but I'm under no obligation to believe as gospel that every man accused of some misdeed has been falsely accused. I'm not interested in the MRM, the men's right movement, becoming some kind of reverse feminist believe-in. And frankly, I can't afford to back an accused man who I don't know beyond a reasonable doubt is innocent of what he's accused of. I can't afford to back an accused man who I don't know beyond a reasonable doubt is innocent of what he's accused of. So somehow she says, I will continue defaming you until you can prove that you're not a criminal beyond reasonable doubt. How fucking retarded is that? No one can prove that they've never committed a crime. All you can prove is that you were never found guilty of a crime. What the fuck is this? Now she continues on the reversal. She says, all it would take is one wrong bet and I'm done in the mainstream. Okay, so Karen must be let go around defaming men Because Karen is more important. Karen's mainstream success is more important than the reputation of the male she defames. Do you realize how fucking retarded that is? When I see someone on Warski Live who's been accused of anything, my first question is, were you found guilty in a court of law? That's the first question you need to ask. That's all you need to know, by the way. That's all you need to know to back someone, as you say. I'm not asking you to back me, Karen. I'm asking you to live by the presumption of innocence principle. If you don't live by it, what you're doing is what causes suffering in tens of thousands of men in America every year. I'm not asking you to approve JF. I'm asking you to stop lying about me and about the courts. Stop lying. What proof do you need to stop lying? She says, my focus is on the bigger picture, not individual cases. Oh yeah, you were kind of focusing on an individual case on V-Stream. Kind of. You want someone to exonerate you? Send all your shit to Diana Davison. That's her gig. So I'm supposed to be exonerated for crimes that I've not ever been sued in court for. There's never been a court proceeding against me to find me guilty of any crime. There's never been a policeman thinking that I committed a crime. There's never been any criminal trial initiated. But somehow I'm supposed to send all my shit. Send all my shit. What the fuck is that? Does she need a picture? Does she need fucking my tax reports? How does Diana Davison prove that I'm not a criminal? There's never been any proceeding against me. I don't need exoneration from anyone because I've never been sued. I've never been... there's never been a criminal case against me. And I'm not gonna trust a fucking private woman. And respect to Diana Davison, I don't know who that is. I'm sure she does a great job. I'm not gonna send to a woman my papers and ask her, so am I exonerated? No. I'm exonerated by the fact that there's never been any fucking criminal trials against me. Any, not even for parking tickets, not even for anything. That's all I need. But Karen Straughan disagrees and reverts the presumption of innocence for males. The last sin that you should not commit if you are a MRA is shaming men for being shamed. That's essentially joining a mob phenomenon and saying, I don't know if this mob phenomenon is based on facts, but it's somehow bad that you're being shamed for something, right? No, it's not bad. It's that there are retards out there. They are looking to ruin reputations. They are retarded in the brain, they're leftist, and they're women, and some of them are Jewish, like the Daily Beast article writer. Some of them are gypsy, like V. And these people, they have defective brains, and they accuse people based on facts that they cannot prove. That's all you need to know when there's a mob phenomena directed at a Chad male. But Karen Straughan believes differently. More than this, how have I escalated this? By sending you an email asking you to look at the context. You know, the context being, here's what people are going to think about all this. Here's the fallout he's going to have to deal with. Within a minute of what I said in that 34 seconds clip, I said, yes, the court system is biased against men. Yes, people shouldn't take these allegations at face value. No, I'm not making any moral judgment or making any assertions as to whether I believe the allegations made in the Daily Beast article, but the optics are bad. I literally said it's not a matter of what's legal or illegal. The optics are bad. No one has arrested Louis C.K. or Aziz Ansari, but they're social pariahs now, JF. Do I look like someone who cares about being a social pariah? Do you not think that I might have adopted different beliefs in my life and I would have gotten different jobs if I cared about that? So she disempowers me on my choice, on the kind of career I chose, and she's talking about social perception, not caring about are the facts indicating any unethical action on my part. That's all that matters. She continues, shaming for shaming, or shaming for being shamed. She says, what false statements? When I talked about what was in the Daily Beast article and what people would think of you because of it, tell me, JF, do you think all the flack you're getting over all this, all the idiots in chat making fun of you, all the memes and all the normies calling you a psycho, all the people you've had to block, are the sole result of me using the word retard when describing how people are going to imagine your ex-fiancé based on the info in that article? Is the fact that I predicted what you're currently dealing with evidence that I'm to blame for it? So that's a typical homonormative matriarchal behavior, which is, first, she denies that it's her fault. So somehow I join in mob phenomena, but the mob phenomena is what caused it, not me. Well, if you're participating to it, why don't you stand by your actions? You've misrepresented the court case. You invented false documents that don't exist in court, don't exist in the article. You made up stuff. And so, yes, it's partly your fault, but I don't care. The percentage that was caused by you and the percentage that was caused by the Daily Beast article. You're talking about a mob of chatters insulting me, but the question you should be asking yourself is, are they insulting me based on fact? Is there a point at which I have to question these mobs and maybe tell them that they're wrong? But no, you don't do that. You legitimize their insults by saying, yeah, all of this social phenomena, that's worth commenting on. Very disappointed in Karen.